Hello Year 5. This week we're going to be doing some work on the Highwayman poem. A couple of weeks ago it was one of your reading comprehensions, and we usually do look at it in Year 5, so we thought we'd do a couple of activities on it. If you still have a copy of this, it will be useful. Otherwise you can easily access a copy just via a quick search on Google. Okay, so the Highwayman, written in 1906 by someone called Alfred Noyes. It's about a highwayman, and a highwayman is basically someone who robs travellers. They were really prominent, which means they were around a lot in the 17th and 18th centuries. This was a time where wealthy travellers would go from town to town, and in between those towns there wasn't a lot of basically anything. There was lots of countryside and forests, and the highwayman would hide, lay in wait for someone to come by, and then they would come by and rob them of their money, their items. But it was a dangerous life for highwaymen because travellers started to fight back. They would have weapons of their own, and they would sometimes hire guards. So it was a dangerous life. And also, if you were caught, you'd be hanged. So not a good life to have. Now, they were hunted down. There were huge rewards for their capture. But also, they were sort of popular in culture a little bit as well, almost like a little bit like Robin Hood. So I'm going to read you the first couple of verses of the poem, and then I've got an activity for you. I will also send out a link to there's a full video on YouTube, which is quite good for understanding the full poem. It's sort of edited down as well, but the full poem, as I said to you, is on Google if you wanted to watch it. So let's have a little listen.
The moon was a torrent of darkness among the gusty trees. The moon was a ghostly galleon, tossed upon cloudy seas. The road was a ribbon of moonlight over the purple moor, and the highwayman came riding, riding, riding. The highwayman came riding up to the old inn door. He'd a French cocked hat on his forehead, a bunch of lace at his chin, a coat of the claret velvet, and breeches of brown doe skin. They fitted with never a wrinkle. His boots were up to the thigh, and he rode with a jewelled twinkle, his pistol butts a twinkle, his rapier hilt a twinkle, under the jewelled sky. Over the cobbles he clattered and clashed in the dark inn yard. He tapped with his whip on the shutters, but all was locked and barred. He whistled a tune to the window, and who should be waiting there but the landlord's black-eyed daughter, Bess, the landlord's daughter, plaiting a dark red love knot into her long black hair.
Okay, so your task for this week, using the information from the poem, design a wanted poster for the highwayman. So you want him to be captured. Find and retrieve all the descriptions of the highwayman, what he wears and any weapons he carries. Make up some of your own details, for example his hair colour, his eye colour, his height, and his build. Why is he wanted? Make up some typical crimes to include in your poster. So you may need to have a little think about here, maybe some research. What crimes did a highwayman commit? Also, is your highwayman wanted dead or alive? And what is the reward for his capture? Now, today in school we actually had a go at this, and what you are seeing now are just some of the examples that we created. I would love to see what you've created at home, so please feel free to email in and then I can add it to the display. Thank you Year 5, hope you have a lovely week and we'll be speaking to you soon. Okay, if you'd like to watch like a video version of the Highwayman, there are a couple of good ones on YouTube. Obviously, before you go on YouTube, make sure you have your parent or carer's permission. Make sure they know that you are on it. And I literally typed in the Highwayman poem, and these two here are quite good.